listening to the Front Porch Show. Some shows are niche shows about specific topics. Others, shows about nothing. This show is the show about everything. On the Front Porch Show, we'll talk about current events, some news, a little bit of politics, along with a whole lot of life. Welcome to our Front Porch. You're back for another week of the Front Porch Show. Our message line, 1-402-799-1811. You can also reach us on Facebook at My Front Porch Show.
No, that's the website.
No, it's thefrontporchshow.com is the website.
There you go.
What's our Facebook page? It's
the Front Porch Show.
No. It's My Front Porch Show. My Front Porch Show. The website's thefrontporchshow.com. Totally butchered that one.
I don't think you've got it right. I think
I just looked it up.
Front Porch Show. If I punch in the Front Porch Show, that's what comes up. The Front Porch Show.
It's at My Front Porch Show.
Oh, you mean like the slash?
Yeah, the slash.
The actual address. Okay, so www.facebook.com/My Front Porch Show. All right, now we're all on the same page.
Have you checked out the giveaway we're doing, Tombstone?
I have checked out the giveaway. I think I suggested the giveaway.
I think you did. We're running that.
I have good taste in sitting places.
Yeah, you do. You very well.
Yep,
you do. So we're running that for another month until July 1 at 12 a.m. All you have to do is go to the Facebook page, like the post, and then comment on it with your favorite segment. Now, I've got to pick on some people right now because they may be listeners now.
Don't pick on the listeners.
I have to. Let me surmise. Let me condense it down to this, guys. If you're going to participate in a giveaway, actually read the post first of all, and second, don't copy other people's answers. We've got 8 segments per show. That's 80 segments since we started the show.
You're making it sound really long now.
It's
there's
easy.
A lot of material there. So
metric
we love you.
Ton loads.
We love you. We're glad you clicked on the page.
Oh, absolutely.
But we'll love you we'll love you even more, and you'll love us even more, if I may say so. If you listen to at least one show, we appreciate it. You would appreciate it. Oh, we didn't actually say what the prize is for the giveaway.
Oh yeah, what is the prize? You referenced
it is a beautiful Adirondack chair that we custom ordered off Amazon.
Or that we will custom order and have it drop shipped.
Right, we will order it custom, very custom. Everything about it will be custom, hugely custom.
$129 value.
We'll have it sent directly to your front porch from Amazon's front porch.
That's right. Some assembly is required. You might have to turn a screw or something. But
we promise it will be easier to assemble than your typical IKEA
If you're in the
furniture.
Southeast United States though, you could probably send an email to tombstone@thefrontporchshow.com, and he might come to your house and assemble it for you.
No, do not volunteer me for chair assembly duty. I am not down with that.
So
unless you make me cookies, and then we can negotiate.
Oh, that works.
Yes.
So this past couple of weeks, we've had a lot of graduations, a lot of people walking. Tossing their hats in the air and all that fun stuff. Yeah.
Speaking of, how many years has it been since you graduated high school?
Since I graduated high school, it's been 14 years.
That's terrifying.
14 years?
What, did you graduate? You didn't graduate.
I graduated when I
was
was
18,
17. I was 17.
I was 17.
Yeah, so it's been 14 years.
I'm not going to do the math. I know it's been too many years.
It's a long time, man. Long time.
So,
but did you? So
I'm
I was
up on my 10-year college graduation.
I was small private Christian school. We didn't do the gifts. We didn't do the pranks. There were 2 of us in the senior class. So had one of us done a senior prank, one of us would have gotten in trouble for it.
You all would have been grounded forever.
Absolutely. So did you guys in your school do a senior prank or anything?
I feel like there was, but I have no idea what it was. Maybe somebody I went to high school with can tell me, because I honestly have no clue. And I was only there for 1 year, so I didn't know very many people.
Oh, for some reason I thought you were there longer than that.
No, just the 1 year when I was 17.
No kidding. So
but also
then,
pranks were frowned upon.
Right.
There was I did a prank when I'd been there for like 3 weeks and it was not well received. So
what was the prank? You can't toy with us that way.
There was one particular teacher who had an extremely outsized personality and really, well, he mocked his students incessantly.
Oh.
And he would call us doofus on a regular basis.
That's not right.
No, it was demeaning. So, as a joke, when student body elections came around, I made a series of election style posters that I put up on different chalkboards, and it said, "Vote for me, doofus," and it had the teacher's name underneath. So
wow.
I mean, like, it's really, really, really like a lame thing, but I did get called into the principal's office.
Lame, but that's funny
for disrupting the student body elections. So,
but
other than when I worked for Russia in 2016, that's the only time I've ever disrupted an election.
Dang it! You jumped on my joke. Well done.
Great minds.
Oh man. So nothing as drastic as this kid in Kansas.
No, this guy in Kansas had it going on though.
Kansas City. Let me read.
Are they bored in Kansas City? Is it that kind of town where like everybody sits around and tries to think of things to do, like put your high school up for sale on Craigslist?
There's so many different things.
When I was in high school, if you wanted to post on Craigslist, you had to walk uphill both ways to the library to use the internet.
Yes. Now he probably just uses his phone to post it on Craigslist.
Probably.
Craigslist ad says, huge 20-plus room facility, newly built football field, baseball field to the southeast, newly added 4 modern-day rooms, has centralized air, heating, plumbing, next to Walmart for convenience. Huge parking lot. Man, bigger than normal dining room.
If I could afford it, I'd probably buy it. It's a pretty solid description.
It really is. Named after hometown resident Harry S. Truman.
Apparently, the people in the school administrators here at the school did not agree because, in the spirit of over responding to every freaking thing that people do, what was the actual punishment? I saw it a second ago.
He made the comment on the Facebook page, the reason for the sale is due to the loss of students coming up.
Right.
And what they did is, rather than interpreting that as, the kids are graduating, they interpreted that as a threat to the school. And he was not allowed to walk.
We are reading off Gizmodo.com, and I have to point out, I don't ever want to see a Gizmodo.com URL in the comments again, because they're a terrible, terrible website. But I'll let it slide just this once.
The better is
it's part of the Gawker empire. Although I don't know, empire may be too strong a word after Hulk Hogan and Peter Thiel bankrupted them.
So this kid, so apparently the ACLU filed a lawsuit against the school. This past Friday.
What did they suspend him for the rest of the year or something?
Yeah, he just won't be allowed to walk.
Like, is that really a punishment though? Not having to walk? I mean, maybe just depends on.
I don't know. I only walked once in high school.
For me, it would definitely not have been a punishment.
Six credits from college.
That's the opposite of a punishment. I guess it depends on how big your class is. If you had a really small class, maybe it'd be different.
Right. The amazing thing, the kid had a 3.9 GPA. He was a good student, good kid.
You know what they're actually doing there? They're actually punishing the parents, because I think most kids probably really don't care about walking because kids don't care about stuff like that. Parents and grandparents would definitely be upset. More than likely,
this is yet again another instance of zero tolerance policy being a great excuse for laziness.
It's worse than that. They're reading in just ridiculous craziness where there is none. And like you said, I'm quoting from the article, the school, it seems, saw the post as, we got scare quotes, implied threat, albeit not a credible one. If it's not a
credible threat,
just crazy.
Come on.
Oh, it's not even that. I mean, to even categorize it as a threat.
But the fact is, the school administration should have the ability to determine,
to discern.
Right. But zero tolerance, man. A little kid walks into a school with a butter knife, and he's banned for 3 days.
Did that actually happen?
Yeah, a couple months back.
Oh,
a couple
goodness.
months back, suspended for a
And
butter knife.
it was here, not in the UK.
I am. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was.
I have to ask. You don't always know these days.
Yeah, as I said, zero tolerance. It's just laziness on the administration's part.
Yeah.
Man, we have a ton to get to this show, and when we come back, we'll talk about an airplane.
We love airplanes here
We
on the
love
Front Porch Show.
airplanes. There's always stories about them. We are back for another segment of the Front Porch Show. You know, we totally forgot to talk about why Jeff is not here tonight.
Which, by the way, we will catch no end of heck over whenever we hear from him again.
Well, without a doubt, and rightly we should. Rightly we should.
We are terrible, insensitive co-hosts.
So we mentioned a couple weeks ago that Jeff's moving. He's trying to get everything ready. Well, today, I guess right now, he's officially finishing up packing his U-Haul and getting on the road tonight or tomorrow morning or something. I don't remember what he said when he was texting earlier today. But yeah, so he is not with us tonight. Hopefully he'll be back next week. He just wasn't sure of his schedule.
But we don't really need him.
Oh, you know, the whole.
I'm sure I'll hear about that.
In the break, we talked about how, you know, we might just not talk about that he's gone and just carry on the show without him. And,
well, that would be hilarious. It would probably confuse the listeners.
Oh, without a doubt. But it reminded me of now flashback. I need some chime. I need some chimes.
I can't do the. You need like Twilight Zone music, you need like
the chimes,
no,
the memory chimes. I'm going to get those for next week.
Oh, all right. Do
step back into the history of Mathis. Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman. We were forced to watch that every Saturday night, 8:00 with my mother.
What's that on? That was on PBS, was it?
CBS.
CBS. It must have been one of the two channels we had because I remember watching it.
Right.
Either that or somebody else recorded it on VHS and gave it to my mother.
Oh, could have been. No, that was a big thing back in the day.
That was my mother's show. Although as a 6 or 7-year-old, I was completely intrigued.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, old timey country, fun stuff.
There was always a little bit of gunplay.
Right. So they kicked off the daughter and replaced her. It was like random end of season, next season, daughter comes back, different person.
You know what else they did that with?
What's that?
Last Man Standing.
Oh yeah, they did.
And
they absolutely did.
It really annoyed me to the point where I quit watching the show because I couldn't get back into it.
I really liked the first daughter.
The first daughter, she's a great character, and I felt like the second daughter, the daughter that replaced anyways, the character annoyed me a lot.
Totally different character.
Season. And she was like really fired up about Hillary, which
was
just
absolute
weird.
Flaming liberal.
And that was the 2012 season, right? So it was everything was like
I don't know.
Romney versus Hillary. It was a fascinating. Oh man, we were all such sweet summer children back then. But anyways, all that to say, Jeff should be back with us next week.
We hope.
We're not going to pull a Last Man Standing or a Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman and replace him with someone named Jeff, but sounds and looks completely different. We would not do that to you. Although, as Aaron demonstrated, we're not going to be shy about bringing our wives in to.
No. It's great. I love having that female perspective every once in a while. I think we need that. Sometimes it's awkward though.
If my wife wasn't so busy toddler wrangling, I'm sure she'd be.
See,
we can find.
I'd love to get your wife on sometime because I think she is a fascinating woman.
If you think I'm salty, my goodness.
As I said, I'll leave it there. I think she's a fascinating woman. There's many stories to be had that she could tell not only about you, but about life. I mean, she's very. We'll
She's
leave it
done-
at that
she's
for
done a
now
lot of
until we
stuff.
get her on the show and actually interview her without Tombstone
Yes,
listening.
that would be actually hilarious. We should
It'd be a
definitely do
blast.
that.
There's a couple topics I want to talk to her about weightlifting.
Oh, she would love to talk.
I
about
know. I would love to talk to her about that. So we'll have to work that out sometime. Okay, so changing complete 180.
Rapid,
Absolutely.
rapid topic change, which is what we specialize in here in the Front Porch Show. We specialize in topic whiplash.
Absolutely. I mean, if your head's not spinning by the time the show's over, we have not done it right.
Nope. So not to disappoint, I'm just gonna read the headline from the Blaze. I don't know
Please
why
do.
they wrote the head. This is actually a really stupid headline, but the headline is "Dear Lord, televangelist asking supporters for his fourth private plane dash. It's 54 million." Who are they hiring to write headlines over at the Blaze?
Unfortunately, they've had massive layoffs recently, so that could point to the reason.
That's a whole different conversation. We'll have to have sometime about the rise and fall of the Beck Enterprise. Which would probably be a really fun topic. Actually,
It would, because you and I and Jeff all have our own interesting opinions on Beck. So
yes,
which props to him. I mean, he's done an amazing job. He's grown an empire. Good on him.
Does he seem bitter? Does he seem bitter at all to you?
I think he's transitioned into the bitter old man.
That's a terrible place to be.
I'll
I'll be there in like probably 5 years.
I know. Give me 5-10 years, and we're all aren't we like that now though? Just a little bit.
In 8 years, we'll be charting the rise and fall of the Front Porch Show empire.
I hope not. Let's give it 20, man. Let's give it 20.
Because you remember, 8 years ago when I was living in Vermont, Glenn Beck could not be stopped. He had the 5 o'clock slot on Fox News.
Oh, dude, he was absolutely unstoppable.
Back when we all used to watch Fox News.
Right.
But it kind of goes back to what I was talking about a minute ago with the Last Man Standing. Like 2012 happened and it got a little weird. And then a lot of crazy things happened between 2012 and 2016. And the terrain has just shifted enormously. And Beck was one of the few people. We've totally ripped off the topic again. I'm just
keep going.
So looking back to like early 2016, when everybody was either lining up for Trump or against Trump, right?
Yes.
Beck was one of the few people that refused to kiss the ring.
He publicly was never Trump. Hashtag never Trump.
He would not do it. He would not do it. And I honestly think, like, I used to read, because I followed him on Facebook, and I have for a long time. So I would read, because there was a while on Facebook, I don't know if he still does, but he would post really personal notes about stuff he was dealing with and what he was thinking about things. And the comments were full of people, basically, I would say it was mostly people that did not like him at all, and there's a few people that really supported him.
More than likely, yeah.
I mean, I think Beck has always been a little bit ideologically incoherent, but he's also, I think he is a truth seeker, and you may not disagree. You may not agree with me on that.
I do. I think he is seeking truth, but my issue with Beck stems from
it's the crying, isn't it?
What's that?
It's the crying, isn't it?
No, I do my own share of crying, Tombstone.
Oh, okay.
No,
okay.
My issue started when I saw him going down this odd theological road.
Well, he's a Mormon,
and
he's always been a little odd theologically.
Well, right, and you and I have been raised. You, me, and Jeff, we were raised Christian, and so seeing, I don't know, I saw Beck go down this odd theological road that almost it seemed like he was interpreting politics based on his Mormon culture.
Right, and we really saw that again back in like 2009, 2010.
And that's to him, that's fine.
He spent a lot of time on Fox doing doomsday scenarios.
Right.
Now there was some really, really pretty good history stuff he did, political history stuff he did, but he also did spend a lot of time talking about like apocalyptic scenarios, and he hawked gold incessantly and whatever else was going on. Which he wasn't the only person that was doing that back then.
No, most of the Republican talking heads were
far from it. Yeah, because everybody was very much kind of in an apocalyptic mood back then. It's because the economy was terrible. I mean, you remember what it was like in 2010.
Well, yeah, I tried to start a business.
Like the housing market there was literally no end in sight.
So my secondary business was booming because of that.
You're right. 30% of the mortgages in Vermont were in some kind of distress, whether refinance or actual like delinquent.
Right, which made for amazing work for us.
Yeah, right. But anyway, so you have Beck out there doing his voice in the wilderness shtick, and I think everything kind of went downhill for him when he staked out his own brand. And then the thing is, if you establish a really big brand and you get a lot of funding like you did with Mercury, and then you change your brand like in the middle of the stream, I'm totally hacking up my metaphors here, but he changed what he was about, what he was doing, after he established a huge brand and hired a ton of people to work under that brand.
But he publicly admitted that, though.
Yeah,
he publicly admitted that he was changing everything.
But it didn't make it any easier for all his people that he'd hired.
I think the biggest question I have is why. Why though?
I honestly, for Beck, I think doing what he believed was right was more important than chasing the dollars. I don't think anybody could ever say, you could say Glenn Beck is stupid, but I don't think you could say that he is dishonest. I don't think so. I'm sure there are a lot of people that disagree. Maybe way to the left of me.
No, I think he is absolutely honest.
I think in any case,
and believes what he's saying
or not, whether he's honest or not, whether you think he's honest or not, he stuck to his guns on the Trump thing, and on the whole direction of conservatism, the whole shift we've seen, and whether you want to call it conservatism now or not, wherever the Trump wing of the party has ended up, you call it populism, I guess. He stuck to his guns on it, and it's really made his political and financial life challenging.
I will certainly respect someone standing by their guns instead of flip-flopping.
So anyways, that brings us to this horribly written headline on the Blaze.
Which,
can I say one more thing about the Blaze?
Yeah, say one more thing about the Blaze. We got to go to break. We'll come back and cover the story.
The Blaze really screwed up. Again, whenever the website went live, which was like, what, 2012, 2013, somewhere in that window?
They hired a new CEO and the website went live. And
they had too much crap on the website. The website, when you would fire it up, Chrome would die. Internet Explorer would die. And that was a really bad thing.
I think too much content
hurt him. Yeah, there was too many pop-ups and flashy graphics, and it just didn't work well.
You gotta fund it somehow, I guess.
That's my last thought on the Blaze. We'll talk about the actual headline when we come back.
The frontporchshow.com doesn't have pop-ups.
No, it does not.
They cut my beard and forced me to eat it.
Could be a crackhead that got hold to the wrong stuff.
Man, we totally got off topic on that last segment, but I thought it was good. I thought it was good. Maybe we'll get a shout out from Beck for talking about him.
Probably not.
Probably not. It'd be cool. It'd be cool. So yeah,
we come back to this headline.
Airplane article.
Execrably written headline about the airplane. So there is a televangelist named Jesse Duplantis, and I have heard of him before. I don't know
have
when,
as well.
And it probably would have been similar headlines because, I mean, they've helpfully provided I got a picture of this for you. The article helpfully has a picture. It looks like a screen cap from video. And Mr. Duplantis is wearing a blazer with a check shirt and a pocket hanky. What do they call those? What's it called?
Oh. It's pocket hanky.
Boutonniere?
I don't know what it's called, man.
And
I'm not cultured enough.
He's pointing at a picture of an airplane, and this airplane
hold on.
One of what?
Should we? You want me to run the audio?
If you've got audio, run it. Yeah,
I do. Let's see if this will work.
Our brand new Falcon 7X, so we can go anywhere in the world one stop.
So yeah, he wants $54 million for the jet. He already has 3 private planes. That was not the video I thought it was.
Well, you can hear him. He sounds like a used car salesman too. But here's what I understand.
If I can do it with one stop, I can fly it for a lot cheaper because I have my own fuel farm, and that's what's a blessing of the Lord.
Yeah, he's definitely got used car salesman written all over him.
So let's stack this up, and then we're going to set it aside. Anyways, in this picture, he's pointing to pictures of 3 airplanes and then something else that looks like a spaceship in the other one. I don't know. There's a whole host of questions.
I think that might have been the running joke. Was that? Oh, it's the Starship Enterprise. It's a Starship Enterprise.
Is that? Oh, that's right. I do see the little engine.
Yeah, it's the running joke was he's got these 3 beautiful airplanes, and eventually he's going to get this Starship Enterprise.
So does he own all 3 of them concurrently, or has he owned them in series? And if he has owned them in series, then why is he only just now making this upgrade to the Dassault Falcon 7X that can fly around the world without stopping?
I think, according to what I understand, is that they do still have the other airplanes.
Who needs... So, okay, another question. Like you said, I may have heard of this guy one time. Okay, compared to, say, Billy Graham, who is well known, but I have also never seen him on television begging for money from the public at large, or even from his congregation, such as it is. So, I guess my question is, like, at what point do you become big enough where people don't ask questions if you're buying a really expensive aircraft?
I mean, On one hand, he's being completely transparent about this.
I'm sure that the Reverend Graham's organization has owned multiple very expensive aircraft that he flew on because he's Billy Graham. Why wouldn't he need to fly? Like, where we see this guy, Jesse Duplantis, and we're like, who are you?
I think you're asking the right question.
Why do you need an aircraft? Now, I honestly don't know if it's a justified question to ask, except, like you said, it kind of all comes back to his presentation. And this fantastic quote at the bottom of the article, which is, and this is what set off all the alarm bells, because Billy Graham never would have said this. I really believe, this is the Reverend Duplantis, I really believe that if the Lord Jesus Christ was physically on earth today, he wouldn't be riding a donkey. He'd be in an airplane flying all over the world, the evangelist believes. I want you to believe in me for Falcon 7X. That's an awfully specific believe in me. Pray about becoming a partner to it. I love it. Shameless, man. Totally shameless.
Listen to this other quote. Jesse, I didn't ask you to pay for it. I asked you to believe for it.
There's so much going on there.
This comes his fleet will be four jets total. I'm reading this over on Washington Post. This jet is $54 million. Used ones sell for $20 million, but for some reason he needs that extra $34 million for a brand new airplane.
I would go with a used one. I would settle for a used one.
Settle, yeah, I think so too. He made some comment about he needs the airplane so that he can preach the gospel all over the world. What was the man? It's not in this article, but I heard today somewhere that he didn't want to be riding in the metal tube because of all the demons.
Oh no, he didn't want to fly commercial because of all the demons.
Right,
that's what it was.
Right,
that's
right.
what it was. Which is just crazy.
Who says that, man?
I know it doesn't. It's just
who says that?
That's like, isn't that kind of like the same thing as saying like when the one preacher's credit card was used paying for questionable telephone services? Oh, the devil must have got hold of my credit card and
right
spent on whatever. You know, like I did read that at one point. I'm not making that up. Like that's the same kind of like parallel universe logic that
right
doesn't compute.
It's got to be a miraculous thing. So 2015 Creflo Dollar.
Yes.
Which the name should be a big question mark.
Yes.
He had Project G650, which was he wanted a state of the art Gulfstream.
Yep.
Financed by 200,000 of his followers. That was $65 million.
I wonder though, is this kind of like a health and wealth by proxy? Like if you're functioning as sort of the leader of this, I don't know if congregation is the right word, but in any case, like you're maybe, I don't know if it's a function of being the leader of this group of people and they feel like they're succeeding. If you're succeeding, so you want to give. I've seen those tactics applied before, and like if you can channel it to people to make them feel like they're partaking of this, I'll say blessing.
See, I think there is no doubt that some of these ministries do need airplanes, but I'd like to know how much money of these ministries is actually going into ministering and changing lives and sharing the gospel.
I have no idea. And honestly, like, without, even if you show me a detailed statement of saying, oh, they're spending this, and this, and this, and these many columns and this many millions on whatever, like, I have no idea if it's legit or not. I just know that it looks sketchy. So I can't say that it actually is sketchy, except for his theology is definitely sketchy. Financially, I have no idea if it's sketchy or not.
Kenneth Copeland, another prosperity gospel guy, he announced the purchase of his Gulfstream 5 recently. It says, "Glory to God, it's ours. The Gulfstream 5 is in our hands." In addition to the millions raised for the Gulfstream 5,
my eyes are about to roll out of my head.
They need another $2.5 million for upgrades to the interior of the aircraft.
That's not insignificant, but you also know that because of the FAA, that everything inside an airplane costs like 10 times what a normal
it absolutely
comparative component would cost. That price doesn't surprise me. It's more the overall project that surprises me.
It was
so I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's talk about something else?
Yeah,
I don't care. So
it's not my money.
We are glad you're going to get your new aircraft, and we hope you enjoy it to the fullest.
And we hope that you can actually make a difference in the world with it. But
yes, of some kind.
Oh, well, it's really quite funny. I was in bed sleeping at 2 o'clock this morning. My wife comes in and says, "Oh, the shop's been, someone ran into the shop." And I said, "Oh, what?" So I jumped out of bed and all I had was my undies on, and I've walked out the front and I've seen the car smashed, and I've seen the bloke walking back to the car. Oh, well, I tried stopping him and say, "Hey, mate, don't be taking off, you've just crashed into the shop." Oh, and he goes, "Oh, mate, I fell asleep behind the wheel." And I'm like, "Yeah, righto, mate. Well, you still don't be fleeing the scene." And he goes, "Don't be a hero, mate." I wasn't trying to be a hero. I was just chasing him down the street. And
you ran down the street in your jocks?
Yeah, in my undies. Yeah, correct. Chased him down the street in my undies, and then he started getting too far. And I'm like, "Oh, well, I better catch up to him quicker and come back home and got my car." And started chasing him up the street in my little purple car.
All good superheroes wear their jocks on the outside, so it kind of fits the brief, pardon the pun.
Yeah, but I had nothing on bar me jocks.
Tombstone. Let me toss you a hypothetical here.
I gotta tell you, folks, here on the Front Porch Show, we only bring you the best underwear connected stories.
Let me set the stage, Tombstone.
Set the stage.
If I were to toss, say, an 8-pound wheel of cheese down a hill, would you willingly chase that wheel of cheese down?
Honestly, it depends entirely on the type of cheese. If it was like a really nice goat cheese with some oregano and some other stuff going on, I would do death-defying stunts to retrieve that cheese.
Man, I forgot to eat lunch today. I'm really hungry now.
Especially if there were some crackers nearby.
Oh, man.
And maybe like sparkling grape juice, I would destroy it.
Good bottle of wine with that. I'm done.
Like I said, sparkling grape juice.
Oh, oh yes. Sparkling grape juice. Grape juice. So our next story today comes from England. Now, a shout out to our United Kingdom listeners. I do not know who they are. We actually do.
We have listeners in the UK.
We're
happy to have you.
We have a regular out of England somewhere who's listening.
So
hats off.
Aaron has been to the UK. I have not been to the UK. I have been to the Commonwealth at large, but not to the UK. But this is about the Gloucestershire cheese. Now I just lost it. The cheese.
It's the cheese rolling race.
Cheese roll. Which cheese roll? I mean, brings to mind like a giant roll of cheese, like what they make in Wisconsin. The fried cheese bites, which are amazing. That's a whole different topic. But what they do is you have a whole bunch of looks like highly athletic young people standing at the top of the hill on the brow of the hill,
and some not so much.
They roll like you said, an 8-pound cheese wheel down the hill. It bounces and rolls and goes to the bottom, and then everybody runs tail over tea kettle down the hill and the first one to the cheese wins. And at least a few people got seriously hurt this year. They had looked like one person broke or injured their leg, and then one person who actually did get the cheese. One young lady did actually had a sling on her arm while she was holding that cheese wheel up triumphantly, which I thought was amazing. But I gotta read you about this Australian guy because they got it going on down in Oz. Let's see. So it talks about a guy who tore his left calf as he chased a wheel of cheese down the hill.
Oh,
but
my
it says,
goodness.
His fiercest competition came from an Australian man, there's your clue, called Mangoes.
Otherwise known as Nathan Antsy.
I want to take a stab at this. He wore only a budgie smuggler.
Which is essentially just a Speedo.
Okay, a budgie is a very small bird. So for those that you don't know, the nearest American corollary would be grape smugglers, which is what bicyclists wear when they're in the wind to streamline everything, because you can't have too much drag, because male anatomy is drag inducing, I guess. I don't know.
Thank you, Tombstone.
Do I need to stop?
That's
I'll stop.
Tombstone at thefrontporchshow.com.
Yes, and
so he Mr. Anstey, who's 30, traveled all the way from Melbourne, Australia. This is his second year, man. His second year doing this.
That's hardcore.
He says, last year was the first time I did it, and I knew I had to come back. It's a no-brainer. It's the most exhilarating thing you can do.
All I can say is I wish I had the disposable income to fly around the globe chasing cheese. My life would be so much better.
And it's the United Kingdom. They've got some dang good cheese.
Did you experience this cheese
while
you were there?
Wensleydale cheese?
I don't even
Wallace
know if I've ever
and
had.
Gromit?
I mean, I'm familiar with the Wallace and Gromit.
Right.
Reference,
It's real cheese. It's actually really, really good stuff.
The wrong trousers with the right cheese.
Right. So yeah, we're gonna post that video on our Facebook page tonight. They're rolling down the hill, getting hurt really bad.
You all are welcome to sponsor us, one of us, to go run the cheese roll.
Oh, we will definitely take that opportunity.
And I can just say that some of us are more rolly than others, so it would be highly entertaining.
Oh my goodness, some of these guys are landing on their heads like
I saw
bad.
That.
Oh,
I saw that.
Oh my goodness. Oh, he hit a chunk. His face flung up like a 50-pound clod of dirt.
Ow.
Oh my goodness
put it
gracious.
Up so the nice people can see it.
Goodness. Okay, so moving from cheese.
Yes.
Moving on rapidly from cheese. Tombstone, we went to college.
One of us finished college.
One of us tonight finished college.
Sorry, that was me.
I'm still paying off my student loans right now.
That was uncalled for.
I've got another year of student loans, or another 6 months of student loans.
I'm not paying off mine, but I am paying off my wife's, and I am actually doing it since she's not working. So
nice,
I do have student loans; they're just not mine.
Yeah, gotcha. Understood. Could you?
That's a whole different conversation we'll have to have at some point about the utility of college debt, especially if you're going to get it in elementary education degree.
Could you imagine owing $1 million in student loans?
I actually can imagine, believe it or not.
You can imagine? I can't imagine it. I'm sorry.
Yes, I can imagine. It would be painful.
So
I would never pay it back. You would never pay it back.
And I'm wondering if that's not his goal. So this is Mike Maru, 37-year-old orthodontist. And it says he owes $1,060,945.42. Now that's as of the 25th of May, and it's going up by $130 a day because he can't even cover the interest.
So there are a couple of there's one really important question not answered by the article, which is how much of this actually went to his student loans versus how much of it went to paying life expenses while he was in school, and also how long it took him to get through.
Well, so it was 7 years. School.
It was 7 years.
It was University of South Carolina.
Really?
Yes.
Well, that explains everything.
University of South Carolina. He's paying $1,500 a month. Now, that's only 10% of his monthly income because by government, I guess it's government decree, you only have to pay up to 10% of your monthly income.
Yeah.
Now,
and I would bet at this point his student loan's been taken over by Freddie Mac anyways.
Now, this gentleman,
it's
all going to be a wash.
The loan, my guess is the loan company is only getting the money from originating the loan. They're getting off the top, and that really. And again, I'm going off a really loose knowledge of this whole process. I have researched it a little bit, but not in the last year or so. But when you go to college, the college itself is never gonna they're never gonna collect. They're gonna get one check. They're not gonna get any interest. They're just gonna get the one check from the loan originator, and then the loan originator is gonna take a little bit off the top, and then they're gonna pass it on to another entity that warehouses loans. And if you've ever seen The Big Short talks about this, how this process works with housing, whether or not fraud is actually occurring. Those loans are being warehoused usually by hedge funds.
So this guy Maru's making $15,000 a month.
Yeah,
he lives in a beautiful house overlooking a scenic vista.
And did you see what his income is after taxes?
It was something like $13,000 per month.
And the article has $13,333.
Yeah,
that is a lot of money.
That's a substantial income.
So now I don't want to make this all about his lifestyle and his income, because really this could happen. I don't say it could happen to anybody. I guess it really depends.
It could. It absolutely could.
It depends on. Well, I'm going to say anybody could get themselves into this situation. You could be making a quarter of that or less and have a proportionate student loan.
Still be paying 10%.
That amount would no longer seem as high, but it'd still be proportionally high. I still don't know how he managed to get 1.1 million out of U.S.
Seven. That would be 7 years.
Law school doesn't cost that much, but a lot of that is compounded interest.
So that would be 100,000
because
a year,
it's
10 years.
Because of the way his structure is set up, it's compounding faster.
I would bet
he's paying it off.
I would bet you he took out.
That's really the issue.
I would bet you he took out somewhere around 600,000, 500,000.
Does it say in the article the original amount?
I'm not seeing it right
I'll
now.
have to look.
So,
yes.
2016, the typical dental student owes $287,000,
which is a lot, but not insurmountable. And most of those people probably have mortgages that are more.
So here's the interesting thing: a medical school graduate only owed $190,000.
Interesting. That's an average, right?
Average. So that's a full $100,000 less.
I wonder what the median is.
Dental school is the most expensive professional degree program in the U.S. They charge more.
Dentists I think they make more money than doctors on average. You know why that is?
There's fewer.
That's actually a really good question. But they also don't interact with Medicare, Medicaid at all. There are some insurance plans, but dental insurance is not nearly as common, so most people just pay cash. So their paperwork overhead is a lot less. Yeah,
very interesting.
Yep. So it's quite lucrative.
Very interesting. So wow, moral of the story: pay enough to at least pay the interest rate. But he'll never get there.
If I was making $13,000 a month, I'd be retired in like 4 or 5 years.
Wouldn't that be incredible?
It would be. Well, then we just get old and fat. And we die young.
Cranky and sit on a front porch and complain about life and complain about these guys with $1 million in student loans.
But we would be on the front porch.
We would be epic.